Now, you've made a mistake by saying, will the movie portray it? They're making 4 movies, one for each of the Beatles, all right? We have John, Paul, The Edge, and, of course, Fat Joe. Talking stupid about what's happening in the world right now. People are shitting their pants. You people think it's funny. We have ICE agents out there shooting people in cars and then slipping on ice, shitting their pants, crying, asking for their mommy, and then being shown a picture of Pam Bondi and of Christy Nome. That's who I thought. And they're coming hard and they go, oh, my pants are full of shit and cum and all I wanted to do was kill people. And you think that's funny. Disgusting. We're not addressing the real issues. Namely, they released photos of what the 4 guys in the Beatles movie are going to look like. Time to go to the browser, which means we get a fun little video clip. I'm never removing this. Every time we go to browser, we will see that, and it'll be worth it. Listen, did I have Restream? And it says 2, but I have more than 2 people in there right now. So I don't really think that, which Timmy Chalamet is playing none of them. Okay? Which one would he play? If Timmy Chalamet, I think if he could play one, it would be Linda McCartney. That's who he should play. First off, Adam Pally is in this movie? That's odd. As Alan, who the f*** Alan Klein? Okay, well, I'm glad they're having fun. The Beatles, a 4-film cinematic event. Okay? He should play all of them and Yoko. We got a Yoko in this movie, guys. Yoko is Anna Swaya. That's Yoko right there. All right. She's born in New Zealand. She landed her first acting role at age 11 as the title character in a Nippon television production of Annie. So a Japanese Annie. Ladies and gentlemen, first off, we're Googling Japanese Annie. And also, why isn't that a band name? Japanese Annie. Do you think the movie will portray Yoko as the reason for their downfall? That's a great question. So, first off, you've made a mistake to begin with, which is the movie. Okay? Already, you're totally wrong. And well, there's Annie in Japan. For some reason in my head, she was wearing kabuki makeup and had a red wig, so not nearly as exciting. Now, you've made a mistake by saying, will the movie portray it? They're making 4 movies, one for each of the Beatles, all right? We have John, Paul, The Edge, and, of course, Fat Joe. I was trying to pull... Oh, my brain's such soup. I was trying to pull Kid Rock's DJ. Not DJ, that was Uncle Kracker. Who was the little guy? I'm only going to see the Ringo movie. That's what a lot of people are saying. That's going to be the exciting one. Which one are you most looking forward to? The people who are playing them in this film. And they're releasing them all on the same day, by the way. It's going to come out in like April 2028. 4 movies. Directed by Sam Mendes, the guy who did American Beauty and Skyfall. Get Grok to depict Japanese anime. I would, but the thing is, I don't talk to Grok. I don't do any of this AI generation. You know why? Because computers are my underlings. I am a god, and I will not play their silly games. Do Somali, the king and I would do that, but then Nick Shirley would break in and go, actually, I think we're gonna. Do you guys see that, Nick? Maybe we'll watch that in a little bit. Where Nick Shirley is just, and again, we say this word here on this stream because it's woke V2. He is, quite frankly, stupid. And a Yep, we say on the stream. How do you met Nick Shirley? Was he in Portland? He literally is led around by his parents, right? I'd imagine by hand. They just take him. Oh, God, he's so stupid. Maybe we'll watch some of his video later, but... Yeah, the big events that he's covering, he went to Ukraine, and then he went to Minneapolis, and he went to Portland. He's going to all the war zones. I think Nick Sorter, is Nick Sorter some other neo-Nazi? Lamp, listen, I love you. I love what you're doing. I think it's great. I respect the hell out of it. I don't know if it's good for your mental health to be spending this much time directly in front of neo-Nazis. They're not pleasant people. They're bad guys. Nick does seem genuinely sedated. We'll talk about it. But first, we of course need to talk about the Beatles films. So we got 4 of them. They're right here. All right, let me go back to the beginning. I pulled this up before. First look at the cast of the Beatles biopic. We got 4. See them right there. All right. We've got up here, we have Joseph Quinn, who I think Doja Cat. He was in Stranger Things. He played Eddie Munson in that season that everyone liked before the next season, which everyone hated. What can I say? People are fickle. He did Master of Puppets. That's a hard song to play, and he it, so good for him. I think he Doja Cat, so good for him. Next is Paul McCartney. We have Paul Mescal, same name, okay? And that needs to happen with him. He will not learn another name. That's why when he's in Hamnet, they go, "You're playing William Shakespeare." He goes, "Stop you right there. Paul Shakespeare." He Phoebe Bridgers. So good for him. He's playing Paul McCartney. Down here, we have the real star of this image is a big old fake nose. I think they took the Dirk Diggler penis from Boogie Nights and repurposed it as the nose here. We have Barry Keoghan playing Ringo Starr. All right, the one happy to be there. Did you guys watch that 5-hour Peter Jackson documentary on the Beatles where he just took a bunch of old footage and like edited it into a movie? And like everyone's having a nervous breakdown, and every now and then it'll just cut to Ringo behind the drum set being like, "Are we playing a song? Well, what are we doing? Barry Keoghan Sabrina Carpenter. Good for him. Good for him." And then finally, at the last we have right here, playing John Lennon, one of the absolute Hall of Fame white guys saying the N-word. John Lennon. Top tier. We have playing him Harris Dickinson, who has only had sex once when he put a dick in the sun. Is anyone still watching this stupid shit? Is this still being viewed by humans? Okay. Let's take a look at him. All right. Joseph Quinn is George Harrison. I guess kind of looks like him. I don't know. He kind of more looks like Jesus Christ right here, but I don't know. Harris Dick in son. Where he put his dick in his son. The son, his son. Okay, we're still going. Where was I? Yes, Instagram. As John Lennon. I guess he kind of looks like him. He is a little bit. I'm trying to find the video where I yell at Nick Shirley. Okay, you do that. I'm driving, but I'm listening. No, you need to be commenting every 5 seconds when you're driving. Also, merge. Merge! Paul Mescal is Paul McCartney. Okay, call me when it's Paul Blanco. Okay, what's the other kind of tequila? I'm not, guys, I've got bad sinuses. It gets cold, all the dry air. I'm very stuffy. I'm actually doing a good job. Actually, you're doing a bad job watching it. I'm doing a good job. And we have Barry Keoghan as Ringo Starr. So I get the idea of the movies, I guess, is they're not going to like, each Beatle it's not going to be a biopic of them. It's going to be 4 different movies, each one of them covering a different like time period in the Beatles, but it's going to be from the perspective of one of them. I don't know if it's going to be like forever. You sound fine. I have a mellifluous voice. I have literally studied the voice. What to do today? What to do today at 1:45 to 2. A thing distinctly hard to say, but harder still to do. So, like, you know, maybe it'll be the early days where they're jacking off in a hotel room in Hamburg. Not a hotel room, like a tent or something like that. Because that's how the Beatles got to be like a really good band, you know? And I say really, none of them were terribly advanced at their music as musicians. Probably like the best musician was Paul McCartney on bass. He actually was a pretty good bass player, but not like, you know, comparing with the Motown guys or like John Paul Jones, the Zeppelin guys or something. But they were a tight as hell band. And that came from just doing like 10-hour concerts in Hamburg. I don't know, this actually would be a fascinating movie just to begin with. The sort of the entertainment scene of Hamburg post-war Germany. the story of the Beatles is the story of post-war, cultural exchange, because they were young guys. They didn't serve in World War II, but they were like kids when it happened. And I think Paul and John both lost their moms, and they bonded over not having moms. But they bonded over that, and also over R&B records by black musicians that American GIs had left in Liverpool after they were stationed there during World War II. So that cultural exchange inspired the Beatles to, of course, make it better. To take black music and make it good. Just kidding. I love everybody. And then the thing about the Beatles, they were a good band. They have great songs. We love the Beatles. No disrespect to the Beatles. But they just managed to come at exactly the right moment, because Elvis was an even better moment, because he came right when women were allowed to be horny. For the first time ever, it was legally possible for a woman to be horny, and Elvis blew up. But unfortunately, he was a stupid hillbilly who didn't know how to write any music and kind of sucked. So, listen, we love Elvis. He was an interesting performer, but no one knows any Elvis music. And also, he just got addicted to pills and I don't know. I was about to go, they should make a whole movie about Elvis, and I was like, well, they did. Austin Butler played him, and you know what? I didn't get it. And if you want my ultimate hot take, Baz Luhrmann is lying about being straight. Piece of shit. Who, Nick Shirley or Austin Butler? Is Austin Butler a piece of shit? Who are you confused about? Because it's hard for me, because the two people I'm really eyeing for the Democratic nomination in 2028 are Gavin Newsom and Austin Butler. Elvis was a piece of shit. I think he was racist, right? What's the song Fight the Power? Elvis was a hero to most, but he never meant shit to me. Straight up racist. Was simple and plain. Him and John Wayne. Plus, there's a story. I think I've talked about it on stream before. But there was a time, Sybil Shepherd claims this is the case. Who knows? It could be a lie. But she was 15, 14. She was young. If you vote for them, I will you. I'm not even going to get into that right now. Let's just try to live through the next couple years. Then we'll worry about who the Democratic nominee is. Okay? God forbid. Listen, we'll be fine. We got 4 Beatles movies coming out. They're going to solve culture. It's going to be fine. But Sybil Shepherd claimed that she was a teenager, and Elvis was trying to bed her, lay her down, and she was pushing his head down, eat my because she was the most 12-year-old of all time. I think every time I tell this story, I lower the age that Sybil Shepherd was. She probably was 35 at the time. But anyway, she's pushing his head down, and Elvis looks up and goes, "Sorry, baby. White boys don't eat." Which, and I just want to say, Elvis, I don't know how things were in your day, all right? Now, quirked up white boy, they will tuck in and eat the punani like it's a goddamn Taco Bell 12-pack, all right? That's how we eat the punani over here, you know what I'm saying? But you can't make a woman come because that's gay. You guys gonna go see the Beatles movie? What period should each Beatles movie cover? The Ringo one should just be them jacking off in Hamburg. That's what I was talking about. There were stories that you're not going to go see the Beatles movie. I'm curious if this makes any money. Anyway, as I was saying, I think Paul McCartney has talked about they were young guys and they didn't have pornography, so they just had to share one room, so they would jack off together in the 60s at these little hostels in Hamburg, Germany. You got to slip that into every stream from now on. What do I got to slip into every stream from now on? I literally don't remember what we were talking about 5 seconds ago. But as I was saying, they would jack off and they would say names of hot people. That was porn, is just your boy going, "Oh, Pia Zadora." I don't know who they're going to talk about. And then apparently John Lennon, because he was an edgelord, he would try to listen, and he'd hear the rhythm of their stroke and know when they're about to come, and he'd go, "Queen Elizabeth, Queen Elizabeth." I swear to God, I'm not making that up. Okay, let's Google this. What am I going to Google? The Beatles jacking off together. If that's not in the movie, I am suing everyone involved. The Beatles jacking off together. The Beatles had group masturbation. Ultimate rock. Vice. The Beatles have been talking about jerking off together since the 60s. See? I don't make this up. Also, whoever found this image and attached it, a million stars. Whatever they pay you is not enough. That's great. In a recent interview with GQ, Paul McCartney shared a touching teenage story of jerking off with his friend and bandmate John Lennon. Also keep in mind, this guy's a grandpa. Just imagine your grandpa getting a couple gin and tonics in him and just going, so yeah, I used to jack off with my friend. It wasn't gay. Sybil's oral anecdote. Yeah, I should work that into every live stream. But at an inappropriate moment where I'm like, guys, just a moment of silence for the murder of Alex Preddy by ICE. But first, you know Elvis said white boys don't eat I'm suing his estate for that. He's making real bad stuff for the community. Oh no, I was wrong about Queen Elizabeth. It's even better. In a recent interview with GQ, Paul McCartney shared a touching story of jerking off with his friend and bandmate John Lennon. What it was, McCartney reminisced, was over at John's house, and it was a group of us. And instead of just getting roaring drunk and partying, I don't even know if we were staying over or anything. We were all just in these chairs, and the lights went out, and somebody started masturbating, so we all did. Imagining one guy starts jacking off and you go, oh, it's that kind of party, huh? All right. So we all did. We were just like Bridget Bardot, woo, and then everyone would thrash a bit more. I think it was John sort of said Winston Churchill. By the way, Paul says, I think it was a one-off, maybe a two-off. It wasn't a big thing. He might have... Okay, I read on and it was good. He might not have been joking. He might have sincerely wanted to come to Winston Churchill. Cue the New York Post front page with a headline, "Come Together, Beat the Beatles." Come on. We're having fun. We're having a lot of fun. And the cut list of Beatles masturbation puns, till there was goo, 8 yanks a week. Do you want to know a secret about the Beatles? Is that they masturbated together? Yeah, people don't know that. There's Maxwell's silver fleshlight, which by the way would be terrible. A silver fleshlight, you don't want that. It could be like, I shot ropes across the universe. Let it beat off. I might do this for the next hour. This is fun for me. Norwegian Wood. Don't need to change that one. Just use the original title. It's been a hard boner's night or a hard day's boner. Which one's better? It's been a hard boner's night. Go ahead and play that. How does that song go? The opening chord is like a weird G sus thing that George Harrison does. It's been a hard boner's night, and I've been working like a dog. It's been a hard boner's night. My dick is hard as a log. But when I get home to you, I find the things that you do will make me feel really hard. Come together. Yeah, C-U-M together. Here comes old Flat Top. He got a boner and he's gonna jack it, and then he's gonna come, and then he's gonna clean it with a sponge. If he misses a spot, his mom is gonna yell at him. There comes a point in every stream where the edible starts hitting, and I just find myself, that's not right. That's the right note. You come back on that octave of D. Come together right now in a sock. Beatles are good, dude.